What is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Tuesday, October the 16th, 2018, and we are all getting together to celebrate the 1000th episode of SmackDown Live, and it's not as good as you might have thought, and we are going to tell you why right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and this is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's SmackDown Live 1000 review and results show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, tonight SmackDown 1000 review is brought to you by Audible. Audible is giving you the opportunity to check out their service and offering one free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial for joining us here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show tonight. Over 180,000 titles to choose from. Take advantage of this great opportunity today and go to audibletrial.com/sledgehammertv to find the book that speaks to you and start listening today. Again, that's audibletrial.com/sledgehammertv for your free audiobook and 30-day free trial. Thank you guys all so much for joining me once again tonight. SmackDown Live 1000, man. I'm going to tell you, it was great to see a lot of the photos and a lot of the videos that they were putting up throughout the night. The opening video package was very, very cool. It was great to see Eddie Guerrero, even if it's only in still pictures. Eddie Guerrero is one of the wrestlers I miss the most in the whole entire world. He was my favorite of that generation, one of the cornerstones of the original inception of SmackDown Live, and I was happy to see that they were giving him respect just by featuring him in many, many photos on this night, and it was just absolutely great to see. But let me tell you about some people who weren't invited to the party tonight. Big 1000th episode celebration, and Oscar didn't get an invite to the party. Sanity definitely weren't invited. They were probably afraid they were going to bust some shit up or something. We had no Andrade Cien Almas nor Zelina Vega invited to this celebration, nor did we even have Naomi, although her husband would be allowed to be on the show tonight for the first time in God knows how long that we got to see the Usos, but Naomi was nowhere to be found, and I'm sure we can continue to go on and on down the list of people that were not on this show tonight so that we could see things that we really didn't need to see. And tonight's show, leading up to it all week long for the past couple of weeks, as they were hyping this show, it's just all sizzle and no steak. Sure, we got a couple of good matchups, specifically the Tag Team Championship matchup was very good, but they found a way to ruin that as well, and we're going to get into it. The hype for the show was pretty much all surrounded by The Undertaker coming back to SmackDown Live, the return of Rey Mysterio to take on Shinsuke Nakamura, and Evolution, not the stupid women's pay-per-view, the real men's faction that was never ever even a part of SmackDown Live. So their appearance here was curious at best, and I certainly still don't understand it to this minute why they were a part of this show, why it was necessary to have them there, but it was the best moment of the night. That promo and everything that Dave Bautista said, which we will talk about a little bit more, was just spot on, man. It was something that you needed to feel. It felt like old school wrestling promo because the guy was probably shooting from the hip. He probably wasn't written with this stupid script that he had to go along the lines of this and that, because the guy definitely was having fun. When guys are having fun in the middle of the ring, you can tell, and it translates to you at home because you couldn't help but have fun during that Evolution segment, no matter how out of place it is on a SmackDown Live show. And it did serve its purpose, and like I said, we'll get to that. But when you come to everything else, we had Rey Mysterio and Shinsuke Nakamura, which, if you're asking this guy, Booyaka Booyaka, didn't really live up to the hype of his first match back into the WWE. And I'm not going to really get too down on him. I mean, I'm not going to say he hasn't been wrestling, because we all know he has. So there's no reason for any ring rust people trying to say, oh, well, he's rusty in the ring, that's why he was a little slow. And no, there's no ring rust in Rey Mysterio. He was wrestling throughout the independents. He's been wrestling for Lucha Underground since he's been gone from WWE. There is no ring rust in Rey Mysterio. What there is probably a lack of familiarity with a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura seemed a little off his game tonight. I don't know if it's ring rust from him because they don't let him wrestle anymore. When was the last time we've seen the United States Championship? And this show on this night would go main event with this matchup between two of wrestling's biggest names. And to me, it didn't deliver. It wasn't given enough time. There wasn't really a good story told between these two guys. It was pretty much just us waiting to see the 619 and the West Coast Pop, which is the only time you heard the crowd even make a chirp during this match. Shinsuke Nakamura didn't come off very well, and now he sucks up a loss, getting his shoulders pinned to the mat, a champion, getting beaten, although it's by a legend in the business. And the only good thing we can walk away from this matchup taking with us is the fact that at least it's not an American that qualified for the World Cup. The one match that we were guaranteed to not have somebody from the United States entered into the World Cup from. We had the choices be either from Japan or from Mexico, and now we have the guy from Mexico. Why? Because he's the guy that's the oldest. That's the only reason I could see. What reason on this planet should Shinsuke Nakamura not be in the World Cup over a Rey Mysterio? Not only is he the current United States champion, he is what a World Cup is all about. He's a world-renowned professional wrestler. A name like his should be side by side with something like a World Cup. But it's not. Look at the field of these 8 people. What do we have? We have one American from the current era. We have Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion. He's the only guy from the current modern era roster in this World Cup, which is already strike one. And then everybody else, we got 6 more Americans, and now 1 Mexican we could add to the list, all of which are a little bit past their prime. Just a little past their expiration date. Even The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, they have an extended life right now, but they've been wrestling since the mid-2000s. They're going way over 10 years for both of these guys, at least on the WWE. Not that it's been consistent or consecutive, but they have been around for so long, they are almost in that, John Cena category, where they've been around so long that you just don't care whether or not you see them. You'd much rather see Seth Rollins or a Finn Balor. Why were the Bar not entered into this World Cup qualifying thing? You got Cesaro and Sheamus from their respective lands, both of which should be represented in something that would be called a World Cup. Rusev loses to The Miz, thanks to Aiden English in a very, very short match, which was, again, just no reason for it. Why you would not have Rusev advance into this thing and even have Aiden English in it? Isn't he Canadian? There's no Canadians even in this thing. This is a World Cup of wrestling and there's not one Canadian in it. I don't think it qualifies as a World Cup just based off of that. Absolutely ridiculous. So this whole crown jewel thing is still on, despite all of the nonsense that we've been hearing about. They're pushing hard towards it. And the show after this match wrapped up and Rey Mysterio locked up that final spot, and we have the one non-American in the bunch. We had the show go off the air with The Undertaker. The lights go out. Rey Mysterio's still in the ring. He finally disappears. The Undertaker makes his way down. He gets into the ring. He picks up the microphone. He says the same line he closed the promo with from last night's piece of shit Monday Night Raw. I have 3 words for Degeneration X. Rest in peace. We heard this 24 hours ago, and then nothing happened. The Undertaker just walked off. It reminded me very much of the Raw 25 when they hyped The Undertaker coming out, and he came out in the middle of the Manhattan Center and said nothing. So The Undertaker tonight, again, said nothing. I don't understand it. You hyped it like there was going to be something. Triple H is in the same arena. Is he getting drunk in the back with Evolution? Did he forget? He's out there talking shit, and Triple H doesn't come and attack him, leave us with a cliffhanger. Absolutely terrible. Doing that Undertaker impression fucked up my throat. Excuse me. So now, that being said, let's focus on this Evolution segment. And I'm going to tell you guys the one thing I didn't like about it is Randy Orton. Randy Orton has been on this tear as of late. He's been an absolute nightmare. No pun intended. And he's been fingering Jeff Hardy's ear. He's nearly decapitating guys like Ty Dillinger. He's got his sights set on somebody. We're still not sure who it is. And he's partying up with Evolution. Sure, he had his moment where he talks shit about everybody. He put Dave Bautista down. He put down Ric Flair. He put down Triple H. But it amounted to nothing. By the time this segment wrapped up, Randy Orton standing behind Triple H smiling like a 12-year-old because Dave Bautista kind of called out Triple H, which was the shining moment of this whole entire segment. Dave Bautista is the all-star for SmackDown Live 1000. Everything he said was 100% genuine. He actually does feel, and like I said, the guy was having fun. He's wanted to come back for so long. He hated the way everything ended up. He knows Vince put him in the wrong position. He put him in a position to fail. Dave Bautista wants to be a heel. Definitely came off like that a little bit towards the end of tonight's segment. But the Evolution segment, like I said, was a whole lot of fun. And it definitely leaves something on the table with the way it ended. And that little bit of tension that is now being left in the air between Triple H and Batista, which is what everybody's going to be talking about, which is what the whole segment was probably put together for, so that we could kind of start on a road to WrestleMania for Triple H that for once I'm actually interested in. And the most interesting thing would be to see if Batista will remain the one man that Triple H has never conquered. Very interesting thing going on there. But again, therein lies the problem. You have a whole entire roster of fresh, young, hungry talent, and the best moment of the night goes to Dave Bautista, Drax the Destroyer, Mr. Guardians of the Galaxy, and the COO of the company. That's wrong. There's something wrong with the state of affairs of the WWE, relying on the names of the past to try to get people interested in the future of this company is just not the direction to go. I loved seeing Rey Mysterio. I think it's great that he's back in the WWE. Having a mega dream match, ice cold dream match with Shinsuke Nakamura upon his arrival, probably not the way to go. Probably should have had him wrestle just something a little less demanding than a dream match. Or at least put him in there against somebody he's a little bit more familiar with so he can get his wheels back under him. We didn't see anything all that impressive out of Rey Mysterio tonight, did you? I certainly didn't. I don't really understand what all the fuss is about, what all the hype was about for SmackDown Live 1000. Essentially, it was just a SmackDown Live, which, by definition on this show, is better than Monday Night Raw, of course, because taking a shit is better than Monday Night Raw, even if it's the worst shit you ever took in your life and it smells like 7-day-old garbage that's been left out in the Sahara Desert heat. That's some pretty stinky shit you're sitting in. That's what it feels like on a Monday night. So anything is better than that. So being better than Raw is unacceptable. We had the Evolution moment, which was fine, and we did have a great tag team matchup between The Bar and The New Day. Initially, my first complaint about this was going to be we're seeing this again. It seems to be the only match that WWE wants to do for the WWE Championships ever since they concluded that stupid SmackDown Tag Team Tournament. So now The Bar is the perennial #1 contenders, and they got a Tag Team Championship match tonight, which I wasn't really looking forward to seeing because I did not expect The Bar to win tonight, which is exactly what ended up happening, which is actually fine. The outcome is fine, but the way the WWE decided to go about getting to that outcome is absolutely ridiculous. I need somebody to explain to me why they needed to lower the bar and set it so much lower to bring in a 7-foot gorilla. The Bar Show! Why do we need that? Why did the Bar need the Big Show to finally overcome the New Day? You couldn't have given them the win clean over the New Day without the interference of a 7-foot moron that nobody wants to see anymore. What is the necessity or just the need for Vince McMahon to have this guy on the TV? We have a new giant, a resident giant. His name's Braun Strowman. You don't even know what to do with him. You're going to bring back the Big Show, and surprise, what does the Big Show do? The Big Show does what the Big Show does best, because he's not the best wrestler in the world, he's not the best entertainer in the world, but you know what he is the best at? Making the turn. Another Big Show heel turn, and I'm supposed to get excited because he's ruining the Bar? Awful. Awful. I don't even give a shit what the explanation is. You got Corey Graves, oh, somebody needs to find out what's the reason behind. I don't give a shit. What I want to see next week is the Bar lay waste to the Big Show and be like, thanks, big man, we don't fucking need you anymore, and we're going to go on without you. I don't want this to be another 3-man stable thrown together for no reason. We already had the dogs of shit on Monday Night Raw. We still got the Shield running rampant over there. We got Bray Wyatt teasing a comeback of some sort. I don't know if we're going to see a new Wyatt family. We got the New Day running around with their threesome. I'm so tired of it. Unless it's a threesome that I can have involving myself, I don't want to see threesomes anymore. It's absolutely ridiculous. Talk about beating a dead horse. The 3-man faction thing has just been so played out by the WWE, it's a wonder why they finally just throw it to the side. For such a long time, we saw no factions. Because we had one faction like DX in the WWE, we had one faction like the NWO in the WCW, and it works so well that next thing you know, we have Los Boricuas, and the DOA, and the LWO, and the BWO, and then all of a sudden there's fucking factions everywhere. The Horsemen are coming out of retirement, there's this 4-man group, there's the Nation of Domination, there's the Hart Foundation, there's all these fucking groups, and you're flooding it, and you're doing it again. Only instead of everybody having 4 members, everybody has 3 members. You're even doing it in the women's division. You got the Riot Squad. 3. Teams of 3. That's what we're all about. Why do we have to have the Big Show with the Bar? Awful. God awful. Talk about ruining a good thing. Lowering the bar. That's what the WWE is all about. They definitely lowered the bar on 1,000 episode celebrations by the end of this night. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably had a decent time watching this show because it was fun. And like I said, there were some moments that it was good to see. I actually enjoyed seeing Paige in the back with Vicky Guerrero and Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis. I love always seeing Teddy Long. He comes over, you know, with the Mac Militant, and he's always got the hips and the shoulders bumping. It's kind of like me on a Friday night after a couple of Modelo's, and I'm always got the hips and the shoulders going. I love Teddy Long, man. He's fucking awesome. I wish he would come back as a general manager. I never minded Teddy Long. I hated the shit out of people power. John Laurinaitis, people power. The hell out of here with that. Why don't you take your Bellas with you? Go back on a flight to some friggin' island somewhere and stay there. You don't need to see people power any more than we need to see total divas on the WWE main roster in 2018. Thank you very much. Although I understand, and I'm just playing, and I'm just messing with John Laurinaitis. That was his place. It's fine. It's fine. But I still think John Laurinaitis was much more of a figurehead and much more influential in the general manager's position, or role, if you will, on Monday Night Raw. Great to see Vicky Guerrero back. Great to see Edge. Great to see Edge back. The guy looks fantastic. I loved hearing that theme song hit. It's something that I miss. I love Edge, and I've always felt so bad for him that he's not been part of anything in the last 10 years, that his career was cut so short, and I've always been hopeful of some sort of a return for Edge as well, like we've seen Daniel Bryan come back. Maybe one day in the future we could see an Edge come back after not having seen him a la Shawn Michaels. If Shawn Michaels can do it, why can't Edge do it, right? And what do when they have Edge? They're going to have him roll the cutting edge. And we had another talk show segment tonight, which I actually didn't care for, only because the WWE is now using Edge to try to promote and push their agenda and everything that they want to do between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch without changing the direction. They have to change the direction. Becky Lynch is out there getting cheered, and Becky consistently week after week after week, and the song remains the same as far as this storyline with these two women go. And Charlotte Flair comes out to try to be the hero because Becky Lynch wants to tell Edge, oh, make sure you don't hurt your neck on the way out of my ring. Get out of the champ's ring. And then you got Charlotte coming out. Oh, Bex, you had to go there, Bex. And the crowd is just booing the shit out of Robo Charlotte. She gets in the ring. The boos continue. Nobody cares. She's trying to stand up for Edge, and nobody cares. People are solidly behind Becky Lynch. Charlotte Flair attacks. Nobody's happy about it. It was a waste of the cutting edge, if you ask me. If you would have had Edge acknowledge the situation and be like, listen, the fans really want you. Fans don't seem to want Charlotte Flair. Let's bring out Charlotte and see what we're going to say about that and have the turn happen. It doesn't need, it definitely needs to happen, but it just should have happened. Right there in that moment. Charlotte Flair comes out. The crowd's going to boo. You can have it be like, yeah, you know what? The guy's got a point. You want to boo me? You want to be on the side of this woman who's been so mean to me and has just stabbed me in the back and doesn't give a shit about my friendship? You know what? Screw all you fans and screw you, Becky Lynch. And then we're off to the races. Everything is in its right place. All the pegs are in its proper holes. And all the positions are ready to go. And we can run. And it'll go. And it'll feel right. And it'll feel better. And it won't feel like you're slapping me in the face with a stupid stick. The way I want to slap all them in the face with this sledgehammer. I don't get it. I don't get why we go down these weird roads and we see the direction. The fork is in the road. Every friggin' light, every sign down the road says go left. But the WWE says, nah, you know what? We're going to go right. Even though the road is broken and there's a bridge that's out about a half mile up, we're going to take our chances over here. We're not going to go down the clean road that everybody says we should go down. We're going to go against the grain. I knew I was in for a struggle on this night when the whole entire show needed to open up with a McMahon egomaniac session. You have Truth TV in there. You had nothing better for Truth TV than Vince McMahon coming out to say nothing. Stephanie McMahon coming out to pat herself on the back. Shane McMahon coming out to stroke his ego. And then everything ends with a dance-off. Dance. That's how this show began. A piece centered around the McMahon family so they could stroke their egos and whatever else they want to stroke. And then what else was there to talk about on the rest of the show? The tag team matchup between the Usos and Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Started off the show, as far as matches go. Great match! Absolutely great match. Too short, but does it really make sense? Do they need to add all this extra to AJ and Daniel Bryan? They don't need to do this very standard, very generic tag teaming of two people that are going to face off soon and have the miscommunication. Essentially doing the same shit they were doing with the Shield and Braun and the Pac last night on Monday Night Raw, but with Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. This one goes to hit this one and misses, and now this one goes to hit that one. They had AJ start this thing off. He came out. The champ was coming out to his music, and all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan's music hits, and for some reason it pissed off AJ Styles when he knows the man is his tag team partner. So why would it piss you off so much when you know the WWE's just sending out your partner? But anyway, it rubbed AJ Styles the wrong way. We had a very decent match because the Usos are money. I don't know why they're not used more often. If they can hang with guys like AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, they should definitely be on top of the goddamn division by now, again. And probably should have never been taken off the top for this run for the New Day. I would have much rather see the Usos in this position. Would have been getting much better matches with the Bar and everybody else along the way, I'll tell you that much. Absolutely ridiculous that this is the road they're going down for the heavyweight championship of the world. It doesn't need all this. Do you know what it needs? It needs what I told you guys we needed to do for AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Because there is really no history between the two underneath the WWE umbrella. So what you got to do is highlight the past. You have the rights to use some of the GWN stuff for TNA's classic stuff featuring AJ Styles. Highlight their careers. Have AJ Styles talk it up. I've been the darling of the indies as well, just like you. We never got to cross paths on such a big stage. Blah, blah, blah. Build themselves up. Feature their accolades. Show their highlights. Daniel Bryan ascending to that moment in WrestleMania 30. AJ Styles receiving his moment. Both of them having legendary runs with the WWE Championship. Who's better? Who's the better indie darling? Who's the better with the fans? You have so many ways you can do this without having to do this generic bullshit like AJ Styles doesn't watch the show. That's the one thing I hate about this whole angle, and they use it way too much, is the fact that you don't think the guys watch the show. After the show goes off the air, he's not going to go back and watch the fucking replay and go, oh, you know what? You were right. It was an accident. You didn't mean to hit me. I'm sorry, bro. Let's shake hands and let's just go out there and see who's the better man next time. How does that not happen? And then sometimes they even go as far as to play that clip on the beginning of next week's show, and it won't change anything. Like the guy's not paying attention backstage. He's just waiting to run out the gorilla position. Let me out there. I don't like that. It doesn't need this. Just because there's a heel, there's no clear-cut heel babyface dynamic does not mean that this is the road we need to go down. Oh, we need to have them look like they're two idiots and accidentally hit each other and not know that it was accidental, and then we'll have heat, and then we'll have momentum for the W. You don't need it. You don't need it. You have AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Heavyweight Championship of the World at the stupidest show of the year, the most controversial show of the year, but it's going down, and it's going to happen, and this is the road you want to go down. Oh, I'm sorry, Daniel, I didn't really hit you. Oh, I'm sorry, AJ, I didn't really hit you. Let's have a match. Didn't need that. Just needs to be what it is. WWE overdoing it. In this case, not something we're really used to seeing because they barely even try on most days, but in some cases, and in most cases, specifically on a SmackDown Live, they try too hard and it just goes nowhere. We talked about pretty much everything I want to talk about. Again, props to Dave Bautista for doing the dick swing on SmackDown Live. He's out there telling everybody it's a family show, and then he tells the Nate just keep it in his pants, and then does this whole dick swing walk imitation in the middle of the ring. Dave Bautista was there to have a good time tonight. And thank God he did. Because at least for 10 minutes, I sat on my couch with a smile on my face while watching a WWE produced show on primetime television. And that's the best I could ask for, we guess. You know what I mean? We got to take a win where there is one. And that's about it. Again, we had a great tag team matchup. Absolutely ruined by the involvement of the Big Show. We had The Miz defeating the Rusev. We have The Miz defeating Rusev in a World Cup qualifier to finally fill out the field of the World Cup. We had Kurt Angle out there for some reason scouting tonight. They had nothing better for Kurt Angle to do on SmackDown, which is a show that he was a very big part of, but to sit out there on commentary. At least they didn't give him a ridiculous hat to wear, and he was actually dressed like he wasn't on vacation. He was dressed like he was there to work, which I could appreciate. I didn't want to see him sitting there with his stupid cabana hat on, doing commentary, scouting out Rusev. And then he got Kurt Angle sitting out there trying to tell everybody, oh yeah, The Miz is great. Like, Kurt Angle truly thinks The Miz is one of the top talents in the business. Personally, I would have much rather see Kurt Angle versus Rusev any day of the week. Nothing against The Miz. Just would be a much better match. That's it, you guys. I'm not going to say too much about that. Rusev got beat. Like we said, Lana punched Aiden English in the balls. Edge bumped into Kurt Hawkins in the back. They had time for Kurt Hawkins, but they didn't have time for Sanity or Andrade or Asuka. Great. Great to see him showing Zack Ryder on his cell phone. Who gives a shit? The two Edge heads. Neither of you went nowhere. Not like my Sledgeheads. You guys are awesome. The Edgeheads. Do you guys even remember them? I know I do, but that's because I'm a wrestling idiot. Edge goes into the cutting edge. He talks about Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. We talked about all that. We had Rey Mysterio running into Jeff Hardy in the back. I didn't give two shits about that. The Bar defeated the New Day for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. And Rey Mysterio defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, John Cena was nice enough to send a video package. Looking like he's dying of something out there. What, did he get something out there in Malaysia or wherever the hell he is? China? He has to have some sort of parasite or something. The guy's losing pounds like something's wrong with him. Maybe you should go to the doctor and get checked out, Mr. Cena. Maybe his broken heart is really taking a toll on his body. Or maybe he don't give a shit. I don't know. But maybe he should. John Cena is not looking too good in that little video. He mentioned his debut against Kurt Angle and how he regrets smacking Kurt Angle in the face because he didn't deserve that. And that's a stupid fucking thing to say, because if you didn't do that, you wouldn't even be John Cena right now. A lot of stupidity being thrown on tonight's show, but as you guys can tell, we had some fun, just like we do here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for joining me. That's going to wrap it up. That's all your key moments, all our talking points, anything you need to know about tonight's SmackDown Live 1000 celebration, which did nothing but lower the bar on celebrations and lower the bar, the tag team, actually. You know, it really happened, and I'm really upset. Probably one of the things that pissed me off the most tonight. Let me know what was one of the things that pissed you off the most by hitting me up in that comment section down below. I know you guys love to talk to me, and I love to talk to you. I want to hear everything you guys thought about tonight's SmackDown Live 1000 episode. If you didn't watch it, let me know what you were watching, so maybe I could direct my attention to that. Don't forget, you guys, to be here tomorrow. 2 big episodes going up tomorrow night. Going to do the NXT UK premiere episode, depending on the results that I get from that. I don't know if that's going to be a weekly thing or not. That depends on you guys. If you guys come out and watch that show, we're going to do the 1 hour live watch along with the audio. I can't show you the video. You know that already. But I'm going to offer my commentary, and we're going to give you live reactions and responses and what I think about NXT UK as it happens. And then we will do that again for the Mae Young Classic tomorrow night at 9. So lots of stuff happening this week. I might even start doing NXT for you guys as well. If you guys come out for these other videos where I do the live commentary, that's going to be the format for the 1 hour shows from now on. And I would love to do that because it's a whole lot of fun. And I hope to see each and every one of you guys on both of these videos coming up tomorrow night. We got the subscription box showdown. Don't forget to go vote for last month. We got October's boxes are in the mail, and they're on the way. So keep your eyes open for the showdown coming up for this month. And of course, we are going to be your go-to station, not only for the Mae Young Classic, but for this ridiculous Evolution show. And we are going to stay on top of all things that are involving this crown jewel scandalous situation. And I am going to be right here for you guys, just like I always am, bringing you the best in professional wrestling coverage, thanking you all the way along for being here with me. We are almost at 900. 900 so close I could taste it. We really want that 1,000, so it's very important to me, if you enjoyed today's show, to hit that fucking subscribe button right now. Join the hundreds of people that already know that this is the place to be, to have your voices heard, and to be in the best community of wrestling fans that any wrestling show has anywhere on the planet. Some of the smartest, most respectful, and awesome fans any podcast host could ever ask for. So make sure you join our force, join the Sledgehammer Club today, hit that subscribe button. Let me know that you liked today's episode by bashing that like button with your sledgehammers at home, and then share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, especially if they tuned in to SmackDown Live 1000 tonight and were like, what the, okay. I don't know. I don't know if you know anybody that actually does all those noises, but if you do, you know that this is the place to direct them to get out any frustrations they want, or if they want to be a counterpoint and tell me, hey, dude, lighten up. Tonight was a good show. I'd like to hear that point of view too, and then I'll just sit here and tell you you're wrong while welcoming you into the family and accepting your point of view, because that is what we do here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Don't forget to get in on that Audible trial. 1 free book. Try the service for 30 days, even if you cancel your free trial before the end of that 30 days, you get to keep that book you picked, that one book that spoke to you. Whether it's a wrestling book or a Star Wars book or a self-help book, they have thousands of books covering every genre. Go check it out. Use that link in the description below, or go yourself to audibletrial.com/Sledgehammer TV to support the show. It's very important that we get support for this show, and I want to thank Audible for coming along once again for that, just like I want to thank you all for being here once again. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is my team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show and the Wrestling God of Thunder, and his tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue. We are so pleased to be with you. Thank you all once again for the 100,000th time so very much for being a part of the Sledgehammer Club. My Sledgeheads are better than the Edgeheads. Let's make sure the world knows, and let's grow as fast as we can. So thank you, and don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share. Thank you guys. That is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time all week long right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.